Hello and welcome to a new Rated Power webinar. This time we're coming with PRISM Europe, our new prospecting tool. We're really excited to bring this topic and this product to the table, and we'll be covering the fast tracking of PV and battery projects for Europe. We'll just give a few more minutes until everyone joins. In the meantime, just wanted to say that this is the last week before being able to get the Pulse tickets. Pulse is our event where we basically collect a series of experts of the solar industry, and we'll be having technical talks. And yeah, it's the go-to place if you're in the solar market. So I highly encourage you to attend, and yeah, we'll be sharing the last tickets if you're interested through the email after the webinar. And also on the 9th of April, we'll be having the product updates for Q1. We'll be sharing all the releases that we've had, including this one of PRISM Europe. So yeah, make sure you check it out. Okay, so let's get starting. About your speaker today, it's me, Jorge Masa, PO at RatedPower. I'm working mainly in the data and integrations team, and I'm really excited to be here. So yeah, that's me. Let's go with the index. So we'll go pretty quickly through the slides. So we'll understand why PRISM Europe, so why we've developed this new product. We'll explain what it entails, and then the main part, I want to go through an extensive demo so that we can understand, the capabilities that this new product offers. And we'll finish with a Q&A. You can leave the questions here in the Q&A box, and I'll be happy to answer them at the end of the session. So why PRISM Europe? To understand why we've developed this new product, we need to understand how we're tackling the full life cycle of a PV plant. So I really like this schema because it shows really well all the different stages within a power. So within a solar plant, sorry, and RatedPower is one of the leaders, is the leader in what is the detailed feasibility study and planning, with all the parametric design, solar batteries, and a great interconnection tool. But we're broadening this life cycle, expanding into the more detailed design with layout editor. And in this case, we're going to be focusing more on the site identification, more in the prospecting flows in the feasibility study, where PRISM as a product and PRISM Europe comes in as the data-driven prospecting tool. So before getting into RatedPower, being able to visualize those parcels, being able to identify optimum land availability to conduct those battery and PV analysis. So why did we also take care of these needs? It's because we understand your challenges as developers. So we know that you need to get loads of different data from cadastral databases for the land details, towards the interconnection availability, including data for transmission system operators, distributor system operators, land buildability in terms of exclusion layers, etc. And this data, making sure that it's reliable and up to date is crucial for you to make decisions, and that's what we're bringing here with PRISM to the table. This data also is often incorrectly geolocated. It comes in different formats. Some is not digitized, so it's really difficult to grasp all of this together, and being able to take advantage and compare and make decisions around all of this data that is centralized. And having a tool to compare and analyze these interactions is great. And that's what we're bringing to the table with PRISM Europe. So what does it entail? What is PRISM Europe? So for you, those of you that may not know, PRISM is an actual product, an embarrassed product that has been developed for many years. Its main focus was the US, but now we're bringing it to Europe. So it's basically a tool for optimizing prospecting in the renewable energy. For what we have right now, it evaluates parcels and substations in Spain and France, like we'll be seeing. But yeah, we basically integrate this geospatial data to help you make decisions. So what it includes right now, it includes the parcels and substations in Spain and France. It also, the product itself is tailored to manage huge amounts of data and being able to add new layers, apply filters, create graphs or widgets, and use all those information to continue then your feasibility studies in RatedPower. Okay, so both tools, PRISM and RatedPower, are pretty well connected, as we'll be seeing later in the demo. We have this feature which is called Fusion Connect, which you can upload your own layers. So even though we have parcels on substations, you can incorporate your own layers if you have them in shapefiles or CSV formats for enhanced data analysis. And as we said, it's the full integration with between PRISM and RatedPower. We've been working in this, and this is the end part of that stage to start your preliminary designs. And this is what we'll be seeing today in the demo. So what data, besides like parcel and substations, so what is the kind of data that we have? Where did we get that data from? How often do we update it? So this is what this table analyzes. So for Spain, we have the TSO, which is Red Eléctrica, and you can see the different DSOs there. For France, we got it from RTE. And what we do is daily capacity checks. So even if these sources are usually updated by the companies monthly, as each normally can update it at a different date, we basically update, have an update frequency of daily capacity checks so that your data is always up to date. You have the latest data, the sooner the better. And the similar thing happens with parcels. These are actually updated by the original data sources biannually, but we do that update frequency monthly, so that you could have the data as soon as possible. So let's jump in right into the demo. It's going to be the main part for our presentation, for our webinar. So just before we went in, I just wanted to go like with a real life example. So imagine that we're interested in developing a PV project. We want a 50 megawatt AC project with a voltage tension level between 66 and 220 kilovolts. We would be needing for that around 100 hectares, and hopefully we can get that with like 1 to 5 parcels. So the less parcels I investigate, the less parcel owners I need to contact. So yeah, those are a bit my requirements, my use case. And without further ado, let's jump directly into PRISM. So I'll share my screen. Give me a second. I've been having some issues here with my screen sharing, but yeah, we should be fine. Okay, so you should be able to see here PRISM. So this is our main interface. This is our homepage. There are 3 main parts. So this is the homepage. This is the second part, which is where we will be working mainly, which is our dashboards. We can enter dashboards from scratch, or we can use ones that we've been saved. Basically, these dashboards, we call them workbooks. So this workbooks is basically where you're going to conduct your prospecting analysis, and you can save. We have a few for you to start with. but you can use any. And this is the Fusion Connect, the Fusion feature that we were talking about, which we call Data Manager, and we'll be also going through that. So I'm going to start with this Prospect Europe workbook. So let's jump right into it, and we'll get into the main dashboard that we have. Okay, so you see that Prism has 3 divisions, normal in their normal layers. So we have the filters here on the left hand side. This will allow us to filter for our data sources. In this right hand side, I've got my data table. In the center, I've got my map, and here below I have some widgets that will help me with my analysis. Okay, you need to think of Prism as a tool where you have the huge database and you can basically filter, analyze, evaluate data as you please, which comes in quite handy. So here you can see in the map that we have Spain and France colored. I'll go a bit into detail into what the interface does. So here you can see that we have a number. If we go in, we can see that these are the total records of parcels, which for Spain and France is 75 million. If we wanted to know why it is colored one way or the other, here we can see that the substations are colored by company, and the Euro parcels are colored by area. Okay, so first of all, before we jump in, it's important to say that the map is filterable. So here we have the toggle filter by map extent. So if, for example, I zoom into a specific section, all my analysis, all my data will be filtered. So all these graphs will change, and we'll be seeing this in our analysis. So the first step I'm going to do is to deactivate the parcels. We're going to start understanding if we have capacity to connect, if we have capacity to connect to certain substations. So in this case, I've deactivated the parcels layer, and here I have all my substations, which I want to see here. If I change it, we have 13,805 substations between Spain and France. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to filter for the available capacity. So I'll show you really quick the data table. This is basically all the data that we have for parcels for Spain and France. And if we go to substations, here we have it, we'll see that there are a lot of columns. This is because how the data comes, we have here all the capacity, all the voltage, all the different kind of data related to the substations. Okay, we have organized this in folders to make it easier for you. So columns regarding the distribution data, all the columns for the Spain transmission, so for the Red Eléctrica source, which it has a lot of columns, and we wanted to give you all the data that's required, and also for the French substations, we do have all of the relevant columns that you need to conduct your analysis. So everything is centralized as Europe as a whole, as you can see. So we'll be focusing more on the TSOs today. So seeing if there is available capacity for the TSOs, we could do the combine between TSO and DSO, but we're gonna do it this way. And for the solar plant, for the PV plant, we need to filter by this available capacity for MPE, which is the electric park. So we said that we wanted a 50 megawatt AC. So yeah, that's basically the value that we need, and we'll see that it goes down from 13,000 substations to 103. Okay, and I can see that all my substations are from Red Eléctrica, shown in red. So we'll zoom in a bit, and these are all the substations that have some capacity. As you can see, I've zoomed in, and now it's updating all the data. Here is showing me the Europe parcels, but I could go here and change it, my data table, to Europe substations. And as we've explained before, there are a lot of columns, as you can see, and not all of them have all the values. But here you can personalize your data table. So for example, in this case, I have a TSO prospect table, in which I normally do my analysis for DSOs and TSOs, and I reduce a lot of my columns. So I normally have the available capacity, the primary affected node in the transmission network, which is very relevant for DSOs, and the available capacity for MPE, which is basically what we've filtered. So I'm gonna make my points a bit larger, my point size, so you can play with the map, color, play with the opacity. This is all very easy to make. And my second step, okay, it's gonna be, well, I'm gonna make an assumption here. So basically, I know that in Spain, regions with high solar irradiation are Extremadura and Andalucía. So I'm gonna filter out those regions. Also, normally those it depends on which part of the region, but they have terrain that is quite flat, which comes pretty handy. And with south orientation for the PV plants there, you can generate high output power. So we're basically gonna filter those regions. So yeah, let's do that. So let's go to regions here. And in this case, we have it like by province. So we'll be taking the provinces for those autonomous communities. We'll be having Badajoz, Cáceres, and we'll be having Granada, Huelva, Jaén, Málaga, and Sevilla. So here we'll be filtering further those substations. And after just some filtering loading, we end up with 18 substations, okay? So if I wanted to perform a bit more of an analysis, I could use my widget. So in this case, I have this bar chart, which is not showing anything. I took this workbook from Prospect Europe, which is a generic one, but I could do some cool analysis here. I see that this was more tailored for the DSOs. So if I go to the TSOs, it would be great maybe to analyze how much capacity do I have for on the x-axis for capacity for like renewable energy projects, how much capacity exists for synchronous generators, and we could group by substation names, and we could size it by let's see which ones have higher capacity for PV plants. So here, now I've got this graph I could analyze. I have here my available capacity for MPE, for the synchronous generators, and this is just a quick example of how you can leverage data inside PRISM together. So I could save this, and in this case, we're not going to apply it. We're going to use a different filter, but just so you see how you can combine data and you can evaluate data together. So once we have this, what we're going to do is that these 18 substations seem as interesting points to build a PV plant close to it. So what we're going to do is establish a buffer, 5 kilometers buffer from these substations with a tool which is called the area of interest, this advanced geospatial filter, so that we can filter and understand the parcels that are within this radius. So we're going to basically choose the Europe substations. We're going to apply a buffer in meters, a 5 kilometer buffer, and we're going to save this. So let's save this as AOI. Let's call this webinar. Let's call it B, and let's save this. So this will allow us to just focus on those regions which are close to the substations. So this is the use case that we're testing through, and yeah. So once the AOI is saved, we'll be analyzing the parcels within this buffer. So it's taking a while. You need to think that there's a lot of data being here manipulated. So sometimes it needs to get needs a bit of time. But we can see that there we have the area of interest, and now if we zoom in the map, we will be able to see those white circles, the radius, the 5 kilometers radius, which we'll be here evaluating. Okay, so once we have this established, as you can see here, we'll be analyzing the parcels within these regions. Okay, so to do this, as we said, we wanted 1 to 5 parcels. That's why we're gonna be aiming for large parcels, which we can use in our analysis. Okay, so here I have quite a handy row chart in which I'm gonna get here to see it better, which we have the area meters squared by region, and basically, okay, let me turn this country off, which we know that we're in Spain. So by region, we basically have the area, so how much area there is for parcels, as a sum, okay? But in this case, I don't want like the sum area because there can be multiple buffer, like multiple substations that are valid depending on the region. I want the mean size, okay? So if I change this, I see that the parcels in Cáceres, the mean area is much larger compared to the rest of them, okay? So I'm gonna basically save this, and we're gonna basically concentrate on the parcels surrounding the Cáceres substations, which is the one here at the top in the Cáceres region. Okay, so right now this is we're seeing the substation data set, but with here clicked, the other you can see it's gray. If we activate now the parcels, we'll be able to have filtered down, and we'll be able to see the parcels that appear here inside Cáceres. Okay, so now we have activated the parcel layer, and we're gonna be zooming in, conducting our analysis in this region. So we'll be zooming in. Let's see how many parcels we're dealing with. But yeah, I'm gonna make this a bit larger so you can use your dashboard and play with it as you want. So I haven't gone through all here the different kind of options that we have, but we have widgets which basically represent all the graphs on charts that you can include, and here you can share your workbook. So PRISM is a really good collaborative tool to share your work. So that's also a really good attribute and feature that PRISM has. So we have a total of 832 parcels, but as I said, let's filter them down. We think that around 100 hectares will be necessary, so let's filter down by actually area, so trying to find the larger the parcel. So we're gonna go with parcels from 20 hectares, okay, till 110 hectares. So 110, there we go. Okay, so if we filter this out, we'll be further reducing this number, as you can see. And now let me refresh here the recalculate the bins, so you can establish how you want your colors distributed, but normally, as you can see, it's done automatically. It finds you the best ratio. Okay, so right now here we have the parcels, but we need to understand some kind of the actual land buildability. So if there are any exclusion layers, any restrictions that allow me or disallow me to construct there a PV plant. So what I'm going to introduce now, let me turn the parcels layer off. I'll keep the substations one on. I'm going to introduce you the fusion functionality. Okay, so right now as layers we have parcels and substations, but if we go here to the data manager, I have it here opened. It's called basically Fusion Connect, which is our tool to upload external layers. Okay, so here we have you can upload both CSV and shape files, and all of the layers that you upload, you can easily share them with your teammates. You can also join data sources together, which is a really cool feature. that you can take advantage of combining data together and using it in Prism. So let me get just an example. So for example, here, water bodies in Malaga. For you to know, it's very easy to upload it. You just need a zip file and yeah, and having it in CSV or shapefile format. It reads all the attribute columns. So, and then you can use also this data, and it reads it perfectly. This is just an example of water bodies in Malaga, but it gives you the preview, so you know that you're basically uploading it correctly. Okay, so basically we did that exercise to upload some of the layers here in Cáceres, and that's what I'm going to be sharing right now. So in this edit and order layers, if we open here the different layers, you'll see that there are different tabs. So envirus, these are the ones that we have uploaded directly, user, shapefile AOI, etc. So if we go to the user ones, these ones, as you can see, it has the same symbol. So this is where your uploaded layers come through. And we'll be filtering the user, we'll be adding these user layers into the map. It's a lot of data to run through. So yeah, sometimes you just need to give it a second. So if we search here for Cáceres, this is how I have it saved. We'll see that we'll see all the exclusion layers that we have here already. So here we have water bodies, we have transmission lines, we have slopes, which is a bit more complicated normally to transform into a raster file, but you can also upload it into Prism. You have protected zones, power plants, and populated zones. So yeah, basically we could enable these layers, and you could modify them. So for example, for water bodies, you'll be able to modify and color them as you please, apply the fill color. So in this case, for example, for water bodies, we'll be using a blue, and we'll be applying a fill color, etc. So we could do exactly this. So we're running a bit low on time, so I'm gonna accelerate a bit the process, but we would be basically enabling all of these layers and being able to visualize them and seeing if there are some restrictions. Okay, so I'll jump here into the analysis that we have. So basically I'm here showing what we would see with all the exclusion layers enabled. So just so that you're able to see here, we have the parcels, we have power plants, the water bodies, you can see them in blue, the slopes, you can see them in yellow, protected zones, there weren't any in this area, populated zones, you can see there, the city of Plasencia, and the transmission lines, you can see them in red. So this is how you basically leverage the data, do the analysis, and here we can see that it's quite the slope is 15%, so there are some restrictions here, but we can see that there are two parcels here. We have just a bit of an exclusion layer here. Maybe we need to perform some earthworks, but we could connect here to the grid, and we have the substation right here. So we could use these two parcels and get them into RatedPower. So I basically analyzed the cadastral. So this is the official cadastral dataset. I filtered the unique IDs, and by enabling them, you'll see that we basically have two parcels to export. And this is basically what we're going to be integrating with RatedPower. Okay, so now we go into export. We export this as a shapefile, total features to export to. Okay, so once we click export, this goes here into your inbox, and after that, you're able, usually takes around 10 to 20 seconds, then we would be able. So let's go now into RatedPower. I'll get this prepared. So if we share here, there we go. So now if we go into RatedPower, I'm just in a standard project. So we can create a new site. So we can upload this shapefile directly. We open it. Let's open this one. And we just go in and we see the two parcels that we had. Okay. So we can import these. In this case, I want to have them as a unified parcel, because imagine that it's from the same parcel owner. So we have this new feature, the Europe beta, where we can merge the parcels together. Although before I do that, let me get those two available areas together. There we go. And now we can basically merge into one. If you haven't tested this, if you haven't tested this, feel free to do so. So we'll have our access point. You can see a few roads here, and then our substation, as we saw in the analysis, it was around here, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, pretty sure. Yeah, okay. Let's see my substation right now. Yeah. I'm pretty blind. Yeah, my bad. Give me 1 second. There we go. No, this is not it. Okay, so yeah, I can't find it right now. I swear it was around here. There we go. Is it this? Oh my god. Well, yeah, sorry about this. So okay, we could, let me draw it here just to finish the example. So we'll have there the substations, and let's save this. Let's save this site. Okay, let's call it webinar. For the purpose of the experiment, of the example, it's fine where it doesn't be fully accurate where we draw the substation. It's more important the actual available area. But yeah, so now let me get here just a fixed structure, just so that we can see the orientation of the panels, and we'll be able to see how much. So in terms of the size of both parcels, together it was around 94.4 hectares. The preview of the results, we have around 64.7 megawatts of AC of rated power. So that's pretty great. We found a very good spot. We could have added here some kind of restricted area for that part of topography, and we could analyze this further in the feasibility study. And here we could check the actual overview and get a bit into more detail, even go into the actual layout. And if we go to the 3D map, I'll show you here very briefly. So you can see that our plant is south orientation, which maximizes the power output. So yeah, this has been like the full prospecting flow. Yeah, normally it takes some time. I'm sure you know it. But yeah, I just wanted to go through all PRISM capabilities, and yeah, yeah, I think that was pretty insightful. Okay, so let me get back to the actual presentation, and we'll jump into questions. So if you have any questions, just please let's check it out, and yeah. Okay, I think I'm having some issues here opening the text box. Maybe my computer is running a bit slow. Okay, now we have them. Okay, so the first question is around about what new layers and countries would be included for future releases. Okay, so this is an important question. Right now what we have is for Spain and France, parcel some substations, but we're expanding. So the next countries on the line we could say are Germany, Italy, and the UK. Hopefully, yeah, we'll be progressing well with those countries. And regarding layers for Spain, even though you can upload those layers through Fusion, we want to include them directly in our database, directly into Prism, so that it's easier for you to use and manipulate that data. So yeah. So the next step would be having the exclusion layers for Spain and France. So the exclusion layers that we've seen, that we've uploaded into Fusion, amongst others. So yeah, that's basically what we want to include in the near future. Okay, we can see that we have another question here. It says that if are all parcels included? So as you saw in the number that we were showing, there were a total of 75 million parcels for Spain and France. But we're actually not showing all of them. So the really small parcels, we've actually removed them. The ones that are smaller than 0.1 hectares. So the really small parcels, we're not including them because they're mostly concentrated in cities and in populated zones. And in usual cases, if you're gonna develop PV and battery projects, then it's not something that you won't be looking at those really small parcels. So yeah, that's a really good question. We have actually reduced some of them also to improve our performance in the software. But yeah, that's the main reason why, because you don't need them for your analysis, and that's why we have we have those removed, let's say, from Prism. So let's see if we have any more questions. As you know, this is a new product for us, so you know, we're really excited, and we have ambitious expansion and growth plans with it. So yeah, you'll be seeing that we have a lot of updates coming in, and yeah, the capabilities of Prism in Europe will be much much bigger in the near future. But yeah, I hope that it has been useful, that you've seen the power of this tool, how you can use it from today, and yeah, see that there are no more questions. So yeah, maybe we can leave it here. But yeah, feel free to ask me any questions if you have, and yeah, it has been a pleasure for me to be here, and hopefully see you on the next webinar. So thank you.